Hello, everybody out there in internet land, and welcome to the stream. Colin here on a makeup day. I hope you're all doing well. I know I'm doing great. It's good to see you, and I'm excited. We could get started, do some wacky stuff, have some fun today. Oh, pardon me. I don't know if anybody is out there watching this. That is totally okay if that's the case. I'm fine with that. Looks like an API connection has expired on Twitch. Let's reconnect and see what happens. There we go. Hopefully, that will get Twitch a-working. Mixer is grande, so I'm happy about that. And looks like the YouTubes are okay. I can't see any specific YouTubey problems. Other than it's just a little bit laggy. But that's okay. Let me test the chat. Chat test. And there we go. As you can see, I got my sketchbook out in front of me. I figured today, on a lazy Friday afternoon, we can just do some doodles, have some fun, maybe get into a cool pen and ink drawing. We can start inking that. And then I thought we'll do something interesting next week where we'll actually get into the scan and I'll show you guys my digital coloring process. Might be kind of fun. Let me get on some music here. Hang on one second. I don't like that the various music bots don't have, like, you know, various, what's the word I'm looking for? They're all like electronica music, which is fine, but I kind of, yeah, that doesn't really fit what I do. But there we go. Let's just start up with some warm-up drawings. Let's even see if the pencil can get picked up here. Yeah, I hope you guys can see that okay. And I don't know, man. I'm just feeling like some slimy flippin' monsters. I usually start with circles, you guys know that. And who doesn't love tentacles? So, just spitballing here. Let's have this thing have this tentacle come out of some kind of like weird mouth orifice on its face. Let's do that. Oh, and then, what would be even weirder, let's have some teeth surround this thing, right? So it's kind of like a mouth within a mouth that comes out. It's like weird mouth thing comes out and then the tentacles come out of that. I don't know. But that's the fun of it. That's the beauty of drawing. That's the beauty of just going crazy, right? You can have whatever you want pop out of your head. It don't matter. You're in it to have fun. That's why I'm here, at least. And let's give it some eyeballs here, too. And I think the eyeball should be on stalks. I think that would be fun. Kind of like a beholder. but not quite. And it should definitely have 3 eyeballs. I like that. 3 eyeballs, good. Let's turn this music down, because I'm really not digging it that much. There we go. Just not for me. That's all right. So googly eyeballs. Just for fun. Maybe some tentacle feet. I don't know. It's fun. Speaking of which, I need to definitely change my thing in the forest because I'm not playing the forest. Because I always forget. There we go. Done on Twitch. Let me do it on YouTube. And there we go. Saved on the, what you call it? The YouTubes as well. So yeah, we can just doodle around here, which is fun. If I want to give this thing like a fishtail for when he walks around, we can do that. It's the joy of creation, folks. It's a wonderful thing. And I dig it, like a garden. Okay. How about we move into another creature of some kind? Maybe some kind of weird alien dude. You know, I look back to like the movies I like It Conquered the World, or It, the Terror from Beyond Space. And they have these just incredibly... It, the Terror from Beyond Space, the monster is just a dude in a suit, but It Conquered the World is like this walking tree stump with fingers that surround it. I love that. I think that's awesome. So, there's 2 schools of thought when you're, pardon me, coming up with various monsters. Especially aliens. And one's just like, what the heck? Just do it. You want this thing to have, like, I don't know, a mouth surrounded by fingers and a tongue that's also a face? You know? It doesn't make any sense. But you can go ahead and you can do that. Because why not? Because it's fantasy and it doesn't matter. Then there's the other school of thought, which is that you kind of plan things out. Like you say, oh, if it has a mouth, then that generally implies it eats solid foods. As it, you know, has to put it in the mouth and chew it or whatever to start a digestion process. It doesn't just absorb nutrients through the skin. So that means it has a digestive tract and a digestive system. So you'd have to have space for that somewhere in the creature, like for a belly. And then if there's a belly and guts, you probably have a place where the excess comes out. So that's going to be in there. Okay. And so how does digestion work? Well, it's going to need to have a liquid like a digestive juice. So it's got to imbibe water somehow. Does it get it through the mouth? Can it get it through something else? Usually creatures that eat solid foods are tracking down prey. So then it's going to need eyeballs to do so rather than just some kind of weird feeler. And you just go from there and you try to go for like the scientific look at things. You could even do that with designing a creature. Say we just do some kind of weird, like, I don't know, helmet dude here. He's got some legs here. You know, some feet. Let's give him like 3 feet, right? And let's give him 1 eye in the middle of his head. And then you could be like, oh, well, so with an eyeball, that means he interprets data visually and looks around. Usually the creatures that do that are either predators or prey type animals. You know, they live in an environment where there's lots of light. And, you know, the dome shape means that, like, I don't know, falling rocks would ding off of him. So maybe there's a lot of volcanic activity around. Something like that. You know, it's goofy, but it's fun. Tries to get you thinking. And that's the biggest part of this is you just want to get thinking about, you know, things. And that's one of the greatest, if you're like a D&D player like me, man, that's one of the things that definitely gets my motor going as you start to do like little doodles and designs. And you start to think about, oh, what's the environment that this creature would live in? You know, would he live in a hot environment because of, you know, he's got like scales like a lizard or something? Oh, that would imply he's cold or warm-blooded or cold-blooded. Cold-blooded, yes, cold-blooded. And cold-blooded creatures usually thrive in warm environments, so maybe he lives near a volcano or something. And then you could start to just go from there. Well, you know, maybe this volcano is like the only place in the world that this creature exists. Because they can't really, you can't really spread out, you know. Biodiversity, or what is that called? When you like, creatures migrate to other areas. Well, if he has to live by a volcano, he can't really migrate to other volcanoes. And it goes from there. It just kind of spirals, which I dig. So let's go to a new page. I don't know where my pencil sharpener is. Oh, it's right here in front of me. Okay, good. Let's sharpen it up. Get a quick sip of water here. Let's start thinking about a cool scene for a weirdo monster. I'm definitely feeling like retro sci-fi space babes kind of a deal. Let me zoom in just a pinch here. That'll do. Good deal. Okay. So, you know, like I don't know, campy 30s, 40s, 50s, B sci-fi vixen. I don't know. That's what pops into my head here. And I'd like to have her being imperiled, menaced by some creepy, weirdo alien thingamabobber. So let's just rough in a body here. Ribs. Full disclosure, I'm not very good at drawing ladies. It's one of those things that, like, a lot of people that do it and do it well, oh yeah, it's just various curves and you keep it subtle and do all this stuff. And me, I'm so much more comfortable with like big bold lines and squares and junk like that. Like, give me a barbarian dude and I will draw the heck out of it. Give me a space babe and I really have to put a lot of thought and effort into the whole shebang. Some shoulders there. So with one hip up, that means she's putting weight on that leg. Yeah, it's just one of those things, you know? Everybody's got their things they're good at and they're bad at. And me, I just can't do the ladies justice. Man. Oh well. But we can just start noodling around. This is how I start a lot of drawings. You know, just figure out a little pose real quick. I don't really like that, but hey, it's thrown in there. You know, maybe we can have our monster like looming over top. That generally implies a sense of menace, you know. And 3 eyeballs usually give a sense of outer spaceliness. With this kind of campy, goofy type drawing, we're definitely going to go with version number 1 to draw your alien creepazoid, where you don't really care about, you know, the science of it, so to speak. We're not writing Dune here, we're doing Star Wars, if that makes any sense to anybody. Although I love both, I think this calls for that high camp rather than serious thought. So maybe we can have our space babe kind of like down near the bottom of the scene. You know, looking up, going, gasping, oh no. Egads, she says. Maybe she's on a space picnic and got startled. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here yet. We're just in those preliminary stages, which is the fun part in a lot of ways. It's where you're at your most creative, I think. Because after you figure out the concepts, you go into the whole visually trying to determine how things are going to go, you know. But at this point, we're just coming up with a story idea. So she's on her space picnic when she is startled by this alien creepo. She's going, oh no. You know. But then maybe we can do something else. We can maybe stick a laser gun in her hand here, right? She was startled by this space creepo, but then she pulls out her laser gun. Oh, the tables have turned. Maybe that's a good idea for our little scene we're drawing. Maybe we'll give her a big globe helmet. You know, very, very sci-fi from back in the day. Very like Wally Wood and all that. That would be cool. Of course, a skin-tight suit, but, you know, we can give the big goofy helmet a go here. And then maybe she's an astronaut. Maybe she's exploring this area. I don't know. Maybe she's found something that she was examining here. So maybe we'll do like, we could do something like footprint here. Maybe in the dirt, you know. And maybe then that starts to get a scene going in my head. Maybe then we can put out some like, we'll put out some accoutrement. Like maybe she has a space bag here, you know. And there's tools coming out of it. And she's got like a little, I don't know what you call it, a dusting brush and some tweezers and things that she can take samples or whatever with. I like this idea. This is coming along for me now. This is really how it like happens for me when I start drawing something. Start doing a scene or whatever. Okay, so right, so we got our general gist. She found this footprint. So that implies then too, let's add some mountains back here. Right? And of course our monster will not be, it'll be in the foreground, the mountains will be behind it. But then we can go even further. We can add like a big moon up here. And if we want, we can add some like rings around it. And maybe over the side here, we'll put the rocket ship that she came down on. You know, maybe putting it behind the mountains, or at least in the distance, helps us visually tell the story. Like, okay, she's here. We see a lot of the landscape around her. And there's her rocket ship in the back. She's far from help, right? And that kind of helps tell that story a little bit more. We could even do some like dudes, right? We could do some little guys back here, some more astronauts. Maybe they're running. I know that you can't really see. It's just a little stick figure. Maybe some guy sees this and he's running, but he's so far distant. Is he going to get there in time? We don't know. And that kind of starts telling the tale. You know, at least in my mind, I start to feel it a little bit more. Instead of just a picture, it becomes a story. And what I want to do is get the viewer, if you go with the story metaphor, the reader essentially invested in that. I want people to start making their own conclusions. You know, I want them to start saying, what's going to happen? Or who is this girl? Where did she come from? You know, what is this creature? You know, I even if you as the viewer are not really putting these questions like, oh, what does this creature, what does he eat? What does he live on, or whatever? You can start to tell that like interpersonal story, that little conflict there. What's her tale? Why did these people come to this planet? Did they know about these monsters? You know, maybe not. And that's kind of starts the gears working. So let's go on to a new page. And we're going to then refine this thing a little further, because this whole lady is not going to be there. Boom. So, all right, we have our gist of our story here gestating in our minds. And now I can start to think about the layout bit of this. Do I want this to be a portrait style piece? Like book covers, comic book covers, all this kind of stuff are a lot like this, as opposed to our landscape, which is wider than it is tall. Now this, I can say, there are pros and cons to both for our little scene. So we got our space gal here. I'm just going to rough her in real quick. She's got her little laser gun. She's here. She got all her stuff. Here's our footprint. And then here's our big creepazoic dude looming over her. Maybe he's got some tentacles. I don't know. Some weird buglet thing. Maybe less humanoid. And then we got our mountains here. Right? We got our planet up there. Boom. Hopefully you guys can see some of this. And then over here is our rocket ship, right? I think I'm going to have the rocket ship before the mountains, but still pretty distant. I think that's a good look. So yeah, I think this is cool. This is a nice little composition. It offers a lot. It tells a story. It has some focus points on it. And then in terms of bouncing around, you want to kind of get this like Z going. Where your eyes start here. Oh, and it goes boom right into this creepazoid guy. And then it comes down. Oh, and there's her. Oh, there's a rocket. And then back over here. Oh, and there's stuff on the floor. What's all this? We can work with that. Now, a landscape format. This would be a great like comic book cover or whatever. You could even put like Tales of Space up in here or whatever. I think it would work lovely. However, over here, a lot of wraparound book covers do this. So we have our spine of the book here. Then we have, let's do our mountains here. do our big old crater creep coming out at ya. Our startled space babe, she's down there. Right? Maybe we'll have a planet here. And then these mountains, they continue well way over here. And over here is where we get our spaceship landed. Here's where we get maybe a dude running for her. You know, over there. Puts in some shadows. We can have some like rocks here in the middle to kind of break it up a bit. And then maybe a big planet over here. So it's almost like two illustrations in one to tell the story. We can make that rocket look even more distant. And then if this were a book cover, this would be the front right here. It'd be called like Space Book or Space Gal, something, I don't know. And then, you know, you see that and you're like, whoa, I'm intrigued. And then your eyes go around to the back cover. Boom, there's that. That works great for a book. As its own painting, it can be kind of a hard sell. As its own illustration, it can be a bit of a hard sell because, again, you're going to look at this and your eyes are going to start right here at this big planet. Instead of this nice Z shape where you go over this way, that's a long gap where nothing's happening to go over that way. You start here, you follow this line, getting a nice Z on this page, down into this, over to this guy, and then there's this huge gap here between these two. So it visually doesn't work quite as well as that. It would work great for a book cover, but that has a different purpose than your average drawing. So I think for this, for just a straight up, boom, illustration, tell a story, I think we are going to go with option number 1. We're going to go with a nice portrait. Let me scooch this up so y'all can see it. It's a nice portrait view. And then we can start to refine. So, when I was in a lecture with Todd Lockwood, a guy who did a bunch of D&D monsters, a bunch of Drizzt covers, he said that every piece of art is like a movie, and every movie has a star. And you should nail that down first. And let the rest kind of fall into place. So who's the star of our show here? Is it Space Girl? Is it the monster? I would argue that both are our star. So let's nail in Space Girl. In a nice pose. Let's get that. And give her laser gun here, zap. And her feet as she's turning. Here we'll do our footprint. She's got tools around her. What we can do, and what I like to do, is add in some foreground elements. So for that, we're going to do this cool, these like jagged Rockies here. And behind her, we can have our beastie looming up. I like the idea of him having big Google eyes. And then tentacles. I dig the tentacles. So that's cool as he's coming around. And here we can do the mountain peaks. Boom. We'll have her spaceship kind of distant here. Let's shorten that. Good. Old school rocket. Let's do that. Shadows kind of looming over this way. We'll have our light source be this planetoid here. So as it casts light down, it's making her shadow come this way, his shadow come this way, and then the rocket is almost directly under it. And there we go. We got us a scene. I like it. I like it. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get us a little bit of photo stock. For our kneeling space gal. Just so I can get the anatomy a little better. So I'm going to look that up now here real quick. And just find something. Something that I think could work. There we go. That should do it. And then we can start to refine this figure just a wee bit. Which is good. Okay. There we go. Hey Jared, how are you today, man? Good to see you. How are things treating you today, sir? And we're having her turn here. I don't know if I'm liking this too much, guys. That just doesn't work. Hi, Lakota. How you doing today? Good to see you. How are you doing? Jared, I'm doing terrific. Hanging in there, you know. Okay, yeah, gotta get a little better with that kneeling posture. I'm just not feeling it. A mountain of laundry. I hope your mountain is one of our Appalachian hills in Pennsylvania and not Everest. I don't know. I kind of there's a part of me that enjoys folding laundry to an extent. It's very therapeutic. A small part of me, I should say. It's kind of like doing dishes. Okay. So, Space Gal here has pulled out her laser gun. Maybe her knees go this way. I just haven't made up my mind yet. There we go. That's pretty good. I kind of dig that. Give her that big old space helmet. I love a big old space helmet. It's like a fishbowl turned upside down. I dig it. There we go. I kind of like that. And then from there, it's like you can get the details of the spacesuit kind of going a little bit. As long as I get the gist of the pose in, I feel confident about it. Maybe a belt. But yeah, so I kind of like that. I don't know how I feel about exactly this leg coming this way. Maybe I'm not feeling that. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. Or maybe, instead of both knees together, she'd kind of have one leg up. She'd get a leg up. I've been watching Heartland too much. Get a leg up. Doing something like that. Pose a little more actiony. I don't know. And of course she's got her laser gun here. And the laser gun has to have wings on it because, of course it does. I mean, how else are you going to stabilize it when you fire? I don't know. I don't know. Let's go to stock images. See what we can find here. Oh, we could also do, conversely, here's one. So we have the thigh. We have our feet. Curve here. This will definitely give us that look like she was leaning over to study this footprint or whatever first, before she was startled by this Martian menace. And then just a subtle twist. There's the line of the chest. Subtle twist, and then we can do her face here, the head. We could even have one hand down, maybe holding an instrument or a brush or something. And the other can be up here. Something like that. I don't know. I don't know if that's an aggressive enough pose or what. Thought it might just be interesting. And thank you, Lakota. That is the noise of a laser gun. Pew pew. Lasers are fun. As Joe Bob Briggs once famously said, it's like a beam of deadly light. Who doesn't like that? You know, other options could involve her just kind of sitting. I'm not sure how I want to do it. And this is where we get into the... It's less about the story, more about the visual challenge. When you hear people talk about it's a visual challenge or a visual puzzle or whatever, this is kind of what they're referring to. How do we accurately communicate what's happening in this scene? Conversely, we could completely omit the laser gun, but I don't know, man. I like laser guns. And we could have it be just like, how should I put this? Just her being startled, or even her being completely unaware that there's anything bad happening behind her. You know, at that point, she's maybe leaning over. She's got the little dust brush here, looking at this footprint. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know, because I'm all ears. You know, there we go. There's a little doodle of her leaning over. Examining what she's found. Completely unaware of the behind her. This tentacled horror is rising from the Martian soil. I don't know. So, yep, if you guys say, Nathan, hi, greetings and salutations. Keep the laser gun? Yep. It's just lasers are so dang cool. Who doesn't want a laser gun? But I agree. In drawing this doodle, as much as I like it, I like the idea of we're in the thick of the action. Or, no, maybe not the thick of it, but the beginning of the action rather than pre-action, you know. Have her be turning. She is aware of this creature. She has drawn her laser gun. And what's going to happen next? I think that's a good idea. So let's do that. Get a little doodle. And I think I'm just not going to overthink this pose too much. I think that's honestly... I get caught up in my own head looking at these details. I think it's just a nice sitting, kneeling type pose here. Kind of what I started with. And I'm just going to go from there. And like that, that'll work. That's completely fine. I think that's great. Add wings to the laser gun, which is most important. And that's good. Now we could tell the story of this whole footprint in the Martian soil, or whatever it is, with the stuff around her. Her bag, her accoutrement. We got to make sure, though, I think it would be good to put on her thigh a laser gun holster that is open. Because that's where she got her laser gun blaster from. Okay, I like that. I dig that. Let's keep it. Boom. Okay, and now we can have some fun. Let's design this here monster. Looming up behind her. So what say you guys? Because my go-to right now has been kind of a monster that challenged the world type of like big, giant, bendy, earthwormy tentacle thing. It's got like multiple tentacle arms like I wish I had in real life. Yeah, something like that. So we could do that. We could do like a big hulking brute dude. Maybe he's got a mouth full of weird teeth. Maybe he's got 3 eyes or something. And all the pupils are on Space Gal. You know. Give him some horns or something. I mean, that's just, we can just go bananas with it. We can just do whatever we want monster-wise. So what do you guys think? What should be menacing our heroine? Bendy tentacle guy. Big brute dude. We could do some kind of insectoid creature. With the big eyes. Maybe like, again, like a mouth with, you know, filled with teeth and mandibles and stuff like that. Some antennae. Good aliens have antennae. And maybe, I don't know, some like pincers. You know. Or something weird. What are your thoughts? Lakota's voting for the big burly guy. Okay. We could do that. I'm into all of this. So you guys let me know. So an insectoid dude. Other options, we could just have a blob thing. Kind of like a Shoggoth. Maybe fill it with some like mysterious orbs to give it some solidity. Or cover it in eyeballs. Like we could just make it be a Shoggoth. All oozing slime, maybe a pseudopod coming out and just oozing. So you guys let me know what you think. We got to vote for the big guy. Debate amongst yourselves. And I'm going to go get a piece of Bristol board and measure it out here. So I can get started at least getting the pencil drawing laid down in. We got our beautiful smooth Bristol. That's smooth. And that page came off absolutely like garbage. So I will set this one aside and use that for a marker drawing later. Wow, this pad is bad. Ah, it's like everything's glued in there. Crazy. Sometimes they just come out like they're just kind of glued in at the top. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. So we got our papier. One thing I like to do is on my grid, line it up to make sure it's actually square, because I've gotten pads that are not cut square, and that's pretty good. I had the one Bristol board, and it was one side was shy by like almost a ½ an inch difference. It was ridiculous, but this is pretty good. I'm liking this. So now we get to measure. The creature from the monster that challenged the world. Right on, man. And feel free, we can combine stuff up. We could give our big burly guy some tentacle arms. We could give the monster that challenged the world dude some like a big mouth, a bunch of teeth and crap like that. We could do whatever. The sky's the limit. So, why am I measuring wrong? I am not paying attention. Okay. So we need to make this 9.5. So that's 1.5 inches in each direction. No, that's not right. 1.25 in each direction. 1.25. To put us at 9.5. Good. All right, so let's go 1.25 and 1.25 and measure across. Solid gold oldies. Okay, that's in there. Good. Now across we can do our 7.5. So this is 9 inches. So that would be 3/4, I believe. To make 7.5. Yes, sir. 3/4 on each side. That's 3/4. Oh my God, my poor brain. Do you ever have one of those days where your brain just decides to pack up and move, but it didn't tell you or leave a forwarding address? That's the day. That's today. Good. Great. Grand. Wonderful. Okay, we have got our 7.5 by 9.5 inch measured out paper. which is super duper. Now I can start going back to my drawing here. Kind of leave it on the side. Let's get our space gal put in. Let's just rough in that there's going to be a monster there. We'll figure out if he's the big guy. We'll figure out what he's doing. But for now, it's fine that it's just, we know he's right there. And I know you guys can barely see that, but you're just going to have to trust me. It's in there. So then let's get our space gal put in. Just again, really, really rough. That's you guys every day, Nathan. Oh, man. Okay. We got ourselves a leg. Let's get ourselves another leg. I'm realizing now this is the exact same posture I used on that Tiki Witch drawing, so good. Good, I'm not a one-trick pony. I just accidentally do the same exact pose again and again and again. That's good. That's good art right there. Oh, man. That's okay. That's okay. I'm leaving it stand. It is what it is. I can't spend any more time mucking about with it. Okay. More or less, there we go. It's just kind of blocking it in. I know it looks bad as it is right now, but it's rough. That's why I don't ink first and then pencil on top. Speaking of which, something I think I'm going to do with this. When I was at the recent Pulp Fest, I did have a chance to look on Sunday morning at some of the classic pulp art by some various artists. The actual, like not a print, like the actual thing that they worked on. The original, as it were. The genuine article, one might say. And what I noticed is how they got this interesting shading is that they have inks down, but then they shade over the inks with pencil, like the side of the pencil in certain areas. And I found that to be fascinating because I always wondered how they did that kind of rough, inky. I thought they might have put some kind of a textured block or textured pad or something under the paper, and then kind of did like almost like a charcoal rubbing, but with ink. But no, it's pencil. So I think that's something I might do for this drawing. There's your laser gun. Big old wing on it. Got to keep your laser stabilized. There we go. Okay, good. So we can refine that a little bit later. Here's the thing that's in the foreground. Now, I initially said I was thinking it might be like a footprint she's found. But it could also be like some kind of a weird alien artifact of some kind. I don't know. Something like half buried in the dirt there, you know? So you guys can think about that if there's anything you want to do with it. We have our foreground rocks here, which gives us an opportunity to add something here too. We could have like maybe a little bug-eyed creature. Maybe like a centipede or something there. crawling on the backside of the rock. We'll figure that out. And Lakota, you like this pose? Thank you. Yeah, I think it's a little bit better of like a. I agree with you that she looks more startled. And we'll figure out all these curves. Man, I am just not good at curves. Some guys can just do that, man. They can just draw attractive ladies like it's just second nature to them. But for whatever reason, man, all these curves and I'm much better at drawing straight lines. I don't know. Big muscle-bound barbarian dudes are way easier. They really are for me. But that's okay. That's why I do it, to practice. You're never going to get better doing only the things you're good at over and over and over again. You always got to get out of your comfort zone. Okay. And as my wife says, I draw hideous women faces. So I got to work on that on this. Yeah, Jared, it was kind of fascinating because I always wondered with the pulp arts, you know, the illustrations within various magazines, like how they got that kind of rough texture in there, and that's how it was done. So I am fascinated by that. I think I'm going to give that a whirl here. And we're going to go from there. We're going to give that a try. I say get out of my comfort zone, too, as I draw the same pose I drew for that tiki mermaid. Man, that bugs me. I did not anticipate doing that in that way. And you know, it's kind of ridiculous, too, because it's redundant for me to do that, because I live in the age when the internet exists, considering I'm streaming on it. That's, you know, obviously it's there. And I can look up all these different poses. And I own pose books. I mean, they're redundant now, but I just have, like, just books of poses. I bought this for like a buck a while ago. It's just filled with people posing, you know? That's great. I got this one. I could use this thing. It's just there's no nudity in this, so I'll flip through it. But it's just poses of ladies doing stuff. They're sitting and kneeling. Could have used any of those. Ay, ay, ay. Jared, I'm glad to know that I'm in good company then, because that is, I'm glad I'm not the only one, I guess. It's just, I don't know what it is about it. It just throws me for a loop. I was going to say a curve, but that sounds redundant. You know, I don't know what I don't know what it is. But it just, you're right. It tells me I need more practice. Jared. It's kind of how I kind of feel the space girl is right here. She's got some broad shoulders, man. Nothing wrong with that. I love me a good female wrestler. But, you know, I feel like for this space gal, it's just not as appropriate. Nathan, you too, huh? Just yeah, it must be. It must be. Okay, so here's her hips. Yada, yada, yada. And I don't know. I've completely messed up with what I'm doing. That's okay. That's okay. She's just Mr. Peanut with legs now, and that's all right. That's all right. We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, what was I watching? There's ladies wrestling on Amazon. And it was good. I enjoyed it. I felt bad though because they were clearly like little house shows that had like 12 people in attendance. But that being said, the ladies that were wrestling, man, they put their all into it. Just because there was 12 people watching didn't mean they didn't give it everything they had, which I appreciate. You know, I really do. Okay, so I've somehow really screwed the pooch on this gal. That's okay. That's okay. Oy. Noid tut, folks. Let's give her an arm here. She's going, oh no. Something like that. Yep. Yep. I'll work on this. For now, though, I think the distance between the head's fine. I think that she's got a bubble butt, which is not helping anything. We'll work on it. Jared, that's another good point. There really is. And I think that might be the reason that I'm not good at drawing the ladies and that you said you're not as well, is that's a really good point that I want to add like a ton of lines. I just want to keep adding lines to stuff. But you might be right then. Each line adds 10 years. Yep, I agree. And it's so hard not to just keep adding stuff. Smile lines and brow furrows and stuff like that. It's a really good point. Okay. That's... that exists. There we go. But let's get in a little bit of the face, just like the lines. There's the nose line, the brow line. We can decide later if I want her to have like hair, or if her hair is going to be under like a skull cap, like an astronaut would wear. You know what I mean? I feel like I've added the center line, the eye line, and an open mouth, like, oh no. And I've already, Jared aged her up. She's like 48 years old here in this. Nothing wrong with that, but I was kind of aiming for, 20s. So, Noijitut. Okay, so we got Space Babe more or less in. More or less in. I don't know why I picked 48. That's just the first word that came to my head. There's plenty of very attractive ladies who are 48 years old, I might add. Age ain't nothing but a number, folks. But that's kind of not what I was going for, so... oh well. Alright, let's get in our manster here in the back. So we have both Monster That Challenged the World and Big Burly Guy as votes. But maybe we can do something both. So let's do maybe bigger eyes. 3 of them. We'll be sure to add weird pupils. Let's do a mouth of some kind. Give a lot of expression here. Nathan, I couldn't agree with you more. Is that from the Drawing Comics the Marvel Way? Was that Romita Sr.? Hold on. No, this is John Buscema. Okay. Because he has a chapter where he kind of says the same thing in that book. John Buscema. Alright, cool. We got a mouth. Maybe we can give him some teeth or something. I don't know. Some weird stuff in there. I like the idea of this guy having horns. I don't know. But you guys chime in and tell me. Horns. No horns. Horns that are tentacles. Antennae. Like, what do you want to see? And then do we want hands with fingers? Like the horn idea. Okay. Good deal, Lakota. We can do that. I don't want the horns to extend off the top of the head. Let's give him one right on the top too. I don't know why. Let's do that. Let's see how it works. And then what do you guys think? Should he have fingers, hands, pincers, tentacles? So we can add in, like, we can do whatever. Sky's the limit. Antennas and mandibles. Word up. Okay, we can do both. Maybe he's got little antennae there at the top too. Actually, I kind of like that, even if they were horns. I like that there's something right there. Kind of gives him a nice silhouette. Clawed fingers we can do. So this is how he would look with fingers. We got to make him pinky out because he's a polite creature. Kind of like that. I don't know. He's got hands that kind of come, the arms go down this way. We give him some like furriness on his shoulders or something like that. I think that might be a cool look. Pinky out. That's how you do it. And then we can give him some mandibles here at the top corners of his mouth. Kind of like the Predator. I don't know if I want to give him more underneath. Definitely some drool coming out of that mouth. I mean, come on, let's be real here. And then the Google eyes don't look as fearsome. He looks like he's just as startled as she is. Ravid XD, how you doing today? Welcome to the stream. We're drawing the Space Babe menaced by a Martian monster. I don't know if it's Mars specifically, but a different planet. And then let's give him some nostrils up in there, like the middle of his face, between all these eyeballs. So there's like a chest area here for him. And now my thought too is he standing on legs? Does he have is his body a giant like snake type deal? Because we can do, like I said, guys, the sky's the limit. He could have a snake lower body. He could have a big long torso and tiny like foot long legs. That would be, I don't know how I feel about that. And let's add in, there's these mountains in the back. These high peaks here. And get in our heroine spaceship over here. Classic rocket ship, man. If I ever decide to cruise around in space, that's what I want. SpongeBob Cyberpants. I don't know. I have no idea if he exists or not. I think though that you should draw him, man. That's the beauty of art. If it doesn't exist, you can make it exist. Okay. So there's just a quick rough of our spaceship in. We can do a big old planet boom right up in here. Maybe we'll do two, or maybe we'll have one of them have a ring or something. We can do that. So that's the gist. That's our general composition here, which I like. Thus far, I'm digging it. So have you guys had any thoughts about, is she looking at a like a footprint? Is she looking at an ancient artifact she found buried in the ground? You know, I don't know. I think the footprint idea is pretty cool. I think that maybe, I don't know, removes a, I don't know. But Lakota, like you said, we could do definitely two in the front, one in the back. Kind of a deal like that. I don't know. Something like that. And then maybe have her space bag chilling here. Everything this girl has is going to be space something. So there's her space bag. Maybe it's got some stuff in it. I don't know, some notepads. Here's her little space brush. Maybe we can do a like a camera over here, something, a space camera. Of course, since I'm drawing this and it's 1956, cameras are giant things. They are not tiny. Got a flash on it the size of Houston. And all kinds of like random stuff. We could do that. So yeah, all kind of space. Maybe a space pen or space pencil. I don't know what she's using. Here. And some notes. Maybe a drawing of it here. She's an artist too, just like me. Aw, I feel a kinship. I like that. On some space paper. There we go. Good deal. Good deal. So all kind of space stuff hanging out around her. Okay, good. That kind of fills in that little gap here. I don't like these wings on this ship. I kind of want them to be straight up and down. So actually, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to nab this and I'm just going to line it so it's more or less straight. Okay. Yeah, I did pretty good off the top of my head, so that's good. I don't mind if they bow out, but they definitely need to bow in. Okay, good, 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 good. And she's, of course, got to have another one over there. We can figure this out. That might be a little too straightforward. Like the pincers around the mouth. Good. Good. Mandibles are always fun. Let's make one there. Let's make one here. And one back here. And let's have a door right there. And of course, since it's 1956, a ladder coming down. That's classy right there, folks. You have this technology to cruise through the stars at will. You gotta go down the ladder. No, Lakota. Pincers are fine. Pincers are fine. No worries. Maybe these mandibles inject a kind of a poison into its prey. I don't know. So yeah, big giant mouth kind of implies that there's other creatures living on this planet that this thing would eat. There's our mountain range back there. Okay, so good. I think we have the gist of our whole big project worked out here. So now we can start adding in some details. Put some more mountains here in the back. You know, can be some like rocks. As we've got these stalagmites, yes, here on the corners of the foreground There should be some in the background too, just like peppered on the landscape. I think that would work well. So what are you guys thinking about this creepazoid here hanging out, about to assault our heroine? I like the silhouette of his head, I gotta say. I like the idea that he's got horns and antennae and mandibles, and a big weird like dome-shaped head. It's really goofy. I like that. It's very simple. It's like he's got a dome head. I don't know. We can give a couple little points to give the bone structure a little bit of a, so we know where it is. I like his big weird open mouth. Let's get some teefies in there, shall we? Thank you, Nathan. He's got furry shoulders because on wherever they're at, Mars 2, he gets cold at night. So he's got to just keep a little fur there for those long Mars 2 nights. I don't know, something like that for the teeth. Maybe some really big lower incisors. Let's give him 3 teeth at the bottom. I like that. It's weird. Oh, thank you, Jared. So you guys like the whole, he's got like a snake, like a serpentine body below. Give these just a quick refresh here. Make him look just a bit more menacing this way, I think. And that third eyeball up top, too. Can't forget that. This guy's from the 90s because he can't see out of his third eye. It's blind. Oh, God. And then little nostrils here. Kind of like ape-like nose. There we go. That gives him a little more menace, I think. Thank you, Lakota. Good, good. That's what I'm going for. And Jared, I am excited for Drawloween. I'm so pumped up about Halloween. You guys have no idea. I wish I had the time to do more videos now because I have so many things I just want to do. You know, just I'm so pumped already for Halloween. It's crazy. I don't know. I think objectively Halloween is the best holiday. How about you guys? You guys getting excited for Halloween? Anybody else out there going to try to do Drawloween this year? Like, you don't have to do videos or anything, but just a drawing a day kind of a deal. I think it's so much fun. It's also a lot of work, but it's so much fun. Should he have 4 fingers like a human hand, or just maybe just 3? I don't know. Maybe his body coils this way. I don't know. That might be a little much and not give anything back. You know, I saw on Facebook that the Drawloween guy said that the calendar's done, but they're holding it off until September like 1st, so it's gonna be awesome. I think it is. You know what? I know people have complained, I've seen in years past, that they're like, oh, a lot of the prompts are like the same thing. But to me, that's okay, because you can always do something different and new and exciting for each prompt. Like, I've done Carnival Creeps now like 3 times, and if it's going to be on there, I'm excited. You know, I'm excited to do something else completely new and different and weird. You know, so 3 fingers, so it doesn't look too human. Okay. I still think he's got to be pinky out. I think that's an important part of this character. He is nothing if not polite. There we go. Cool beans. Yeah, I feel like that curve there adds like nothing. I feel like the silhouette of this gal's arm is vastly more important than this guy's. The curve of his sneak body. There we go. Pinky out. Exactly. I don't know. It's just fun all around. Like, even if it's the same stuff, I'm fine with that. I almost feel like there's some traditions that I don't want them to buck. Like, for 3 years running, the first thing I've done has been like a Night of the Living Dead drawing. And it always helps to do that because the Living Dead Fest is October 5th, so I like going with a Living Dead. So, like, I don't want to buck that trend. This will be year 3. There we go. Maybe I'll do some additional coils back here so you think he's got a long, long body. Which he does, a creepy long body. Ooh. Water, delicious. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited to see what they're going to do. I don't know. It's always a good time. It's always a lot of work, but at the end of it, I'm always glad that I did it. Okay, there we go. And then maybe we'll do another planet, a smaller one. It's always a good look. right there. Do we want it in front or behind? Let's have it be behind. I can also do a weird bit of cloud cover. Still, that's still good, man. If you do 30 drawings in 60 days, that's still really good. I can tell you, it definitely gets your creative juices going. Let's get this cloud out of here. I kind of want something with more of an angle. Something like that. Nathan, you should, man. Even if you don't do like a full-on rendered drawing or whatever, even if you just do like something simple, it's still a fun challenge. Like even if you just do a sketch, it's cool. And Lakota, definitely. Anything that gets you drawing is a good thing. Well, not everything that gets you drawing, but most things that get you drawing are a good thing. Being possessed by an evil drawing spirit. The only way to stay alive is to keep drawing. Probably not a good thing. But that's a rare, rare thing. So. Those evil drawing spirits, guys, you got to look out for them. Okay, there we go. Good deal, man. I know my friend Shell just did a summer sketchbook challenge where she filled up 216, I think, sketchbook pages. Shell, if you're out there, that was an impressive feat, I gotta say. But yeah, I did not have the time to do that freaking much. It's just, I knew for a fact that just was not going to happen for me. But yeah, there's a lot of challenges like that. And I like the idea that it gets you making art. And it gets you thinking about things differently. That's what I love about the Drawloween is that it's like, oh, you know, they'll do stuff like, oh, you know, Mummy Madness or whatever. Okay, cool. That's awesome. But, you know, even then you're like, what mummy am I going to draw? Do I make up my own? I know. I can't believe. And she did it too, which is just banana wacky to me. Good on her, man. Because that's so much. That's a lot of sketching. I think that's awesome. She has a video up too where she goes through it, but I haven't had the time to get in and watch it yet. Sorry, Shell, if you're watching. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's just... That's a bunch of drawings. Okay, so I'm liking the overall gist. The monster was, all his details Like we talked about before, easy peasy. It's so much easier to do this. Now comes the hard part. Making this girl look like more than, I don't know, some kind of weird troglodytic throwback to what women looked like 48,000 years ago. I don't know. This is the tough part, is all I'm saying. Let's give some darks here. I think based on where his hands are, I am going to also adjust her hand and laser gun. I feel like it's way too close to his claw, and it's just going to cause trouble. So let's have her hand over here. That laser gun here. So fingers. That's where her thumb would be. More pointing at his face. And then this gives that claw a little room to breathe. I think that works a pinch better. I mean, it still needs a little adjustment, but I think that's okay for now. I think her hips are okay as they are. Let's get a hand in. Another thing I don't need her to have is a stump. Because knowing me, I'll forget to render in the hand, and that will be bad. So let's get in the pinky. Boom. Now, if I was a fine artist, you know, selling my drawings for millions on the New York Gallery, I could have a reading of this drawing. Her pinky isn't out. Obviously, she's part of the lower class. His pinky is. He is high class. The high class is looming over the lower class, startling them. But they have a laser gun that they can potentially protect themselves with. I don't know. That's layers, man. That is deep right there. But I'm not one of those artists, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just a regular old dude drawing stuff that's awesome. That's all I ever wanted. There we go. Now we can put a little laser gun holster on her belt. Speaking of which, let's give her a belt. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but let's Rob Liefeld up this belt. Let's give it just a whole bunch of like pouches and stuff. It kind of makes sense for a space explorer. Oh God, it's the 90s. They're coming for her. Good, Nathan. You should totally draw an Arctic space monster. That sounds awesome. If I can be honest with you, it doesn't even have to be Arctic. Any space monster will do. Okay, she's got her space boots on. Good, good. I don't want her to have shoulder pads, but kind of like some detailing on the shoulders sounds good. Some cool space gloves. Good, good. Yes! Arctic Space Monster. That would also be a great band name. I'm just saying, anybody out there that's musically inclined. Arctic Space Monster. Arctic Space Monster, the musical. Tell me you guys wouldn't go see that on Broadway. Because I would. And I don't like going to Broadway. Plays, they're like movies, but vastly more expensive to see. And with way less explosions. But sometimes Patrick Stewart's in them, so that's good. Okay, let's get space... Oh, if Patrick Stewart was in Arctic Space Monster, the musical... License to print money. Yeah, that's awesome, Nathan. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Another thing I'm going to do that's very 50s is I'm going to add some hoses coming out of her head. Let's see how that looks. Outside of the dome here. Bear Bear, hello. How are you doing today? Okay. Now I got to draw this girl's startled face, so that's, oh boy. So let's see if I can zoom in for you guys just a bit. So we can take this journey of turning out like garbage together. Okay. Let's begin. Thank you, Lakota. What is trove, Bear Bear? When I think of the word trove, the next word that comes to my mind is the word treasure. So, you young folks, I can't keep up with all of the things you do. And before you go in saying, I'm not young or whatever, If you're under the age of 55, I consider you to be one of the young folks. Okay, we have a mouth hole. Oh boy. Here we go. See, and I lose it right there. I'm like, wait, I've got two nostril holes. Where does the bulb of the nose go? Dang. Oh, Trove is a free-to-play game. Okay. Well, Bear, I hope it all works out for you, man. I do. Okay. Lips are in. Nostrils. Eyebrows. Eyes. I don't know, you guys. It's I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Give her some lashes here. Oh. I feel like I have to get crazy close and you guys will see the back of my head. Part of it is my eraser is so broad, it's very hard to erase just little areas. Okay. I don't know. Now the nose looks weird. What am I doing? I don't know. I don't know how to draw women's faces, apparently. Oh, God. This is seriously, this, I definitely need to get better with this. Thank you, Lakota. Okay, that looks horrible. Good. I think the eyes are okay. I think. Oh, I know. I need to get better at it. There's no way to get better than just, getting in there and doing it. Making it happen. Stay on target. Stay on target. Porkins, no, you beautiful, sweet bastard. And then, yeah. Thank you, Bear Bear. Yes, the female face is difficult, to say the least. Hi, but I'm determined. Of all the, if nothing else with this drawing, if I can get her face to look like a human being's face, I will be happy. And then the whole thing falls apart on me. I just, like, all of it. It's a little blurry for you guys to see. It probably doesn't look as bad as it looks to me. But yeah, that's the goal. That is the goal with this. If nothing else, I want to have a female face that does not make me feel shame when I show it to people. Like, hey, check out this drawing I did. Just when I did the female face, I was so drunk. Please forgive me. Okay, those eyes are a little more... Be cocky. All right, I got it. I got this. This is the best female face that anyone has ever drawn. You ever heard of that Mona Lisa? Garbage. How was that? Was that cocky enough? Okay. That's a little too far down from the nose. Gives her that long horse face, which I am known for. If you see my hair coming into the video, just say hi and know that it will go away soon. Okay, okay. Keep your fingers crossed, folks, that I can reel this beast on home. Because the face is not making me horribly embarrassed. That's good. Thank you, Lakota. Thank you, Bear Bear, for the thing. Okay, I like the fate. It's maybe not quite Mona Lisa levels, but it's good. It's good enough for me, I think. So my next question for you guys is, and by the way, Lakota, my hair says hello again as well. My next question for you guys: should she have hair like I have, most people do, or should she have like a skull cap on, like inside this dome? Because we can give her like hair in there. Bear, I'm streaming today to make up because I was not able to do it yesterday. Some stuff was going on. I figured this would be a good day to do it. I finish up some stuff. Jared, exactly. That's why, you know what? There's many reasons I'm happy to be a guy. But one of those reasons is the more wrinkles and gray hair I get, the more distinguished I'm going to look. And that's a plus. Messy long hair with a skull cap. Yeah, we could also give her like shortened hair. Like kind of like a close crop, kind of like what I'm drawing in there now. Something like that. I don't know if that works or not. It is brutal. It is brutal. Also very specific, Jared. I like the specificity. Good job. So let's make sure we got the right... If you guys saw that Creature from the Black Lagoon picture I did for the Universal Monsters contest or whatever from Hot Topic, it's in a circle, and the circle's not quite right. It's driving me up a wall every time I see it. Thank you, Jared. Yeah, so far it's not horrible. Give it time, though. I can mess it up somehow. And Nathan, what would Wally Wood do? Saint Wally. Gotta think about what he would do. I love Wally Wood. Yes on the crop top. You referring to the short hair or the skull cappy thing? I'm not sure what you're meaning by crop top. You'd also potentially give her bangs like Betty Page. That nothing says 50s more than Betty Bangs, so. Kind of like one of those. Who doesn't love Betty Page, by the way? Been inspiring comic artists for decades. Something like that. Short hair, okay. Bear. It's not a mistake. It hasn't been a mistake yet, so that's all right, man. So there's like some bangs. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Or should we go back to the short hair? You be the judge. Just checking the clock here. Okay. Wally Woodman, Al Feldstein, Al Williamson. My God. I love all that. I love all those guys. Short hair, going back to the short hair. All right, Lakota. I dig it. I think Nathan already mentioned the short hair earlier. So yeah, let's go back that way. Yoinks. Okay, so short hair. Short from Bear Bear. We can do that. Little alien minions. I think we might actually have some little alien goobers in this section here. But let me get that short hair going. Kind of like a, I don't know, like an Audrey Hepburn look maybe we could do, something like that. Something like that. Let's give that a little darkness. Little darkness. It believes in a thing called love. Oh man, I love the darkness. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Or is that a little something? I don't like that, like the Twin Peaks she's got going on up there. There we go. Oh, Bear Bear. The self-depreciation. That's my job, not yours. Okay, so what do you guys think of that? The short hair look there. I don't know if I'm going to have it be dark hair fully or what, but and then let's do this. This is the other area where her helmet backs into. I don't know. So what do you guys think of the overall? Like, what needs adjusted on her? We can get into the minions here, Bear Bear, in a minute. But like, what's wrong? Is there anything wrong with her? Because if so, I want to nip it in the bud now. I'm not sure how I feel about this hand. It's a little iffy. Looks good. Thank you. Thank you. One thing we can do is do a little measuring. I mean, if you read any books about how to draw and anatomy, don't make her blonde. Yeah, Bear Bear, I was not feeling blonde. I was thinking either like a redhead or, you know, just a straight up like raven-haired vixen. Okay, that's pretty good, actually. So yeah, they normally say medium brown. Okay, we can do that. They normally say that a head height, the next head height is like the nipple line. I know that sounds weird, but it's just a good way to measure. So like the middle of the chest. And I've hit that pretty much exactly. So that's good. I'm glad to hear it. And I can change his hand around a little bit. Because I just, like I said, wasn't feeling it. There we go. And that'll do it. Well, guys, I think I'm going to call it quits for the day there. I like how this has turned out. I'm going to try to hop on maybe some point this weekend. So keep your eyes, keep your peepers peeled, because I'd like to ink this thing. And I figure I'll get you guys along for the journey. And then after the inking, I think it might be fun to actually go in and do some digital coloring. Something that I've been doing a bit of recently, and it might be fun to do on the stream. But I think it would be cool to take a whole drawing like this from complete start to finish. So from no concept, you know, like at the beginning of the stream, we did sketchbook pages of just figuring this stuff out, you know, all the way up to a finished drawing. But I'm happy to get the pencils in. So inking would be a fun thing to do live on the stream, I think. So hopefully, and make the minion a Krang. I like where your head's at, Bear Bear. We'll do a little, just to remind me, a little brain guy down here. Maybe it can be a baby Astro Brain. That would be adorable. But yeah, keep your peepers peeled. And maybe I'll get on this weekend. I'm not sure when, but maybe Sunday or something like that. And we'll ink this bad boy up. And then, like I said, do some digital coloring here too. Would be something I've never done on the stream, and I think would be a lot of fun to do. So thank you all for joining in. Thanks for the suggestions. I really appreciate it. I think this drawing's coming out great, and you guys are a large part of that. So we will talk to you guys later, and keep your donut shapes open. We'll see ya. Good night.